don't think it's going to get terribly, rates aren't going to go up very fast. They're going to stay low for some time, but eventually they will go up. Right now is a very good time to act. One thing I have to go over real quick is the difference between a broker and a banker. A broker is a wholesale, let's say a true wholesale broker has the ability to go to all the banks in the country and have access to their programs and money. And there's a lot of what you call conservative banks and liberal banks. The liberal banks are looser, conservative banks very tight. So maybe someone with a unique situation would have to go to a liberal bank and would best be served using a broker. The most conservative loan officers in the country are federally chartered national banker loan officers. That would be B of A, Wells Fargo, Chase, US Bank. You will not get the best rate there, I promise you. And secondly, they'll decline you when there's many, many other people that could approve you. These are facts. I'm not here to beat up on big bank loan officers. They're just facts. There are thousands upon thousands of people monthly that are turned away from home ownership or refinancing because they go to the bank that they're with. It might be a big bank. In some instances, it can work out very good, such as with Dan. In a lot of instances, the big banks just, they already have their customer base. They already have their billions of dollars. They don't need to fight or be competitive. They offer what they offer, and that's that. Now, that's broker and then large banker. Then there's also a normal banker. And normal bankers have access, kind of like brokers, to all the money, but the owner of the company funds the loans with warehouse lines or their own monies. So the owner of the place you work at as a banker loan officer has to be kind of careful. Might put their own guidelines and overlays on top of what their banking correspondent investors offer. That being the case, can a broker beat a big banker? Yeah. Can a broker always beat a banker? Yeah. What's the ultimate world? A broker banker. I'm not bragging, but that's what I am. Now, when you're a broker banker, yeah, I can whoop everybody, but if they have great credit, I can do it in-house, and I'm already beating their good faith estimate from Wells Fargo, Chase, whoever, and I can move quicker, I'll do it in-house. Bankers like to do it banker style because they don't have to disclose what they make. I, as a broker, when I broker a deal, have to disclose what I make. If I do it as a banker, they don't know nothing, and this business pays. I have no problem if I beat all their other offers as a broker. They see I make 10 grand, they high-five me. I beat my contemporaries. Why shouldn't I make a little bit of money? That's something that's very important for people to understand. The beauty of broker bankers or brokers or bankers. And when you're a broker banker, a lot of times the bank you work with as a banker has to not be able to do the loan in order for you to broker it. It's called first right of refusal. If you do a ton of business each month, and the company wants you, and you got every headhunter in California, Nevada calling you all the time, you can negotiate where you don't have first right of refusal. I can broker if I want, or I can banker if I want. It doesn't sound like much, but it means a lot for people that are either buying a home or refinancing a home. And I hope that made sense. There's a lender out there for every type of person, whether it be FHA, conventional, or jumbo. A big part of the trick is knowing what banks will allow what, as far as guidelines, overlays. A lot of banks say FHA, if your score is under 620 or under 600, you can't get a mortgage. That's not true. There's lenders that will go down to a 530 FICO and give you an FHA mortgage. The same applies to conventional. So I feel those things are important for people to know. A few of the things that you're hearing about in the media nowadays is the HARP 2 loan. HARP 2, if you've heard about it, that's where if you owe $400,000 on your house, and your house is now worth only $300,000. No bank in their right mind would lend somebody money that's $100,000 upside down in their home, but Obama will. The new HARP 2 loan that the government and Obama put out, God bless them, is great. They will allow us, I have some approvals at 190%, meaning their house is worth $200, I'm getting a loan for $386. Do I try to talk them out of it? Sometimes, yeah, I do. I really think it's an abomination. It's kind of stupid. It's ridiculous, but it can happen, and we can take someone from 5.25% down to 3.75% or 3.5% now with no mortgage insurance. And yeah, they owe more than a house is worth, but if they're emotionally attached, they love their house, they believe in the comeback, and they're not going nowhere, then do it. You get a cheaper payment. Now, most of the banks have overlays on this. CMG Financial is unlimited. Icon is unlimited. If you're not with a broker, you're not going either of them. So there becomes a lot of people that have tried to get this done, but because they didn't work with the right loan officer that had access to the right banks, they've been declined and think they can't do it. They're going to get foreclosed on, short sell their house. Had they met with the right person, they would be okay. There's FHA. If anybody has an FHA mortgage, you can do a streamlined refinance without next to any documentation. And if you don't want to pull money out of the house, you can just lower your interest rate and term and lower your payment, whether you're a veteran on a VA or whether you got an FHA government-backed mortgage. Those are incredible right now. 3.125%, 3.25% interest rates, 30-year fixed. I never thought I would see it. I never in my wildest dreams. I mean, 2 weeks ago it's at 3 5/8, 3 3/4, and you're like, wow, doesn't get any better than this. And then Greece does all horrible, and Europe doesn't bail them out, and Spain's in trouble, and let's just keep hoping the stock market does bad and Europe collapses like Rome. And we will be golden here in America. I shouldn't say that to stock investors in the room, but mortgage-backed securities in the mortgage industry and real estate industry, stock market does bad, we do good. So we secretly, just always hope the stock market's dumping and falling, and that's just the truth. Jumbo mortgages, it's a small market, but the best players in the jumbo industry are GMAC, who I correspond with as a banker, Union Bank, who I can broker to, who I was trying to structure yours at, Dan. But Union Bank, Bank of the Internet, GMAC, Luther Vandross, no, Luther something savings. There's a handful, but they suck. Union Bank whoops everyone. Union Bank on Jumbo will whoop every bank in Santa Barbara County, period. And one thing I'm a firm believer in life is numbers don't lie, people do. Someone thinks I'm wrong, put me up against your loan officer. See who wins. Go with the numbers, always. Don't get emotional. You're a friend of the family. Who cares? Oh, they're local. I don't care if he's in Timbuktu, Thailand. You give you a note and a deed of trust at a better interest rate and closing costs. That should be your loan officer. So that covers Part 2, where you can refinance more than your house is worth. If you have an FHA or VA, any type of government loan now, without even qualifying, you can lower the rate and term to ridiculously low rates. Are there any real estate agents in the room? You're a realtor? Brandon, nice to meet you. And what I'm going to show you right now is usually what I show realtors. I'm going to go real fast and talk real fast. But one of the biggest concerns I think realtors should have is your loan officer serving you? Does your loan officer know as much as they should know? Are you referring clients to your loan officer that maybe could have got approved had they had a system or staff or been a little more organized or had the knowledge that they need? Because you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And if you don't know, oh, I could do this and change this, and this bank I can amend the tax returns, walk them into the IRS, and close the deal with crazy Sun West before the 4506 comes back from the IRS. That's a deal maker for small business owners. I deal with a ton of small business owners, and I determine what a lot of people pay in taxes each year so they can qualify. All right, small business owner, you want to claim what you should on your taxes and buy your dream home? Or do you want to keep paying the government very little and you can't borrow anything? And they become very reasonable at that point if it all makes logical sense. So what I'm going to show you is I feel it just a lot of loan officers mess up in not having the right systems and staff. Obviously, I found the most important thing for real estate agents and people buying homes or that want to refinance is 3 things. Being updated. The people buying, the listing agent, updating the buyers throughout the process. I have a full-time transaction coordinator. I have 2 processors and myself And during the process, when we submit the loan to the lender for approval, everyone gets an update when we order the appraisal, when we receive it, when we get the approval, and when we're going to docs. So communication is second, updating everyone's first, communications, availability, and response time. This system I'm going to show you real quick, and my staff are what enable me to do the amount of business I do, and to be able to take telephone calls, pre-approve people, figure out people's situation, and help realtors. I deal with a lot of mega and top producing realtors in Nevada. I haven't even met with a single realtor in Santa Barbara yet. I moved here last June. I've met with Rick, I've met with Dan. They both refer me business now. So I know once I start meeting with some realtors, I'll get more business out of this town, but I'm in no rush. I do a bit of business down in Orange County in the Bay Area, and then most of my business, of course, Las Vegas and Henderson. So just wanted to show you something that I think is pretty cool. That's my website. It's a horrible website, but at least the phone numbers are right. Yeah, because I don't know whose phone number is on the REAI. That's not my phone number, just so you know. I'll send you.
Please do.
Yeah, it's like
change it.
6595. It's going to call Maltman. I know it. It's going to ring to his assistant's desk. No, but this is my horrible website. It's nothing special. A buddy of mine has a web thing, kind of like Brandon. Brandon wants to revamp and do a bunch of stuff with me, but I have a website. This computer I don't know very well. Dan, how do I find other web pages?
Okay, you want to do a Google search or?
No, just it was already, I already had it pulled up.
Okay, so these across the top here, AD.
None of those.
None of those.
No, it's in a new browser. It's in a different browser.
Or you can open up a new page.
No, I already did that.
Okay.
So it's existing already, but not in this window open. Like, how do we see all this stuff? It's like
Let's bring this down into here.
Perfect. I believe this. Maybe it got closed.
Could have been closed.
Could have got closed. Oh well.
Can log in again.
You PowerPoint or
I'll just stay right here. Okay. Unless it pop. No. Okay. All right. I'll just do this. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not used to the way Dan's computer is configured. All right, just real quick to go over this, how I keep track of things. Not that it'll might mean anything to you, but everyone that refers me business, I keep on an agent and client list. The client they've referred me, all the contact information, and then of course the source's name. And every person that I do business with, I keep track of everyone they've ever referred me. Some realtors, refer more than others, and this list just goes on and on and on. Red agents are my top agents, yellow agents are good realtors, and then the blue agents, I hope they never call me or send me a deal again. And that's just the truth. So if any agent is a micromanager, I'll give their staff access to this. It's just a Google Doc spreadsheet. If they want to micromanage and know where everybody's at all times, great. But it's just a good client tracking system. This is my real gold, and it's kind of a small screen. So on this, I have my client's name to the left, the agent that referred me, the contact info. If I double click, the agents and the client's info is there, close of escrow date, a countdown to the close of escrow date, when the rate lock expires, the sales price, the loan amount. This is my transaction coordinator's comments from the beginning to the end of the transaction. I, myself, and the processor on the deal updates notes every day so that we're all in constant communication and moving the file as far forward as it can possibly be moved. When I get a new lead in, I put it into hot leads. From hot leads, if they suck or it's taking them forever to gather up documentation, I put them into prospects. Once I get their documentation, they go into initial setup where we figure out what they're approved for, we gather up their docs, we figure out Like this guy, he wanted an 800 grand house. He's crazy. I got him approved today for 500 grand. And so that's initial setup. Once we get them pre-approved, they go down into the pre-approved section. These are all people out shopping for a house. If they're not pre-approved, they become inactive. I have a big inactive list. And then closed deals are just closed deals this year. And future deals, I'm quite proud of. Say a realtor or someone refers you someone that you know is going to be a deal 7 months down the road. So I might plug them into, 12/1, that's 184 days away. This future deal list on the spreadsheet lets me know when to call these people. And it's just a giant pile of a huge amount of money sitting in future deals. Now when a realtor refers you someone and you hand their client back to them 8 months later and they forgot who the hell the person is, and now they're pre-approved, ready to go, they change their taxes, you raise their credit, whatever. You've got a realtor for life. They're very happy. When they get pre-approved and we get a contract in, we drag them up into processing. Above processing, they go into underwriting. Once docs go out, they move up into closing. That's a way where you can deal with a large amount of business coming in over a long period of time and always know where you're at and deal with your workload from top to bottom very efficiently and effectively. And if someone asks you, well, what happened, blah, 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 let me click right here and I'll tell you what happened that day exactly. And it works out very good. Everybody loves websites, so just wanted to show you the company I work for, Directors FG. We have a Directors Financial Group. We're in a lot of states. We're based out of Lake Forest, Orange County. A friend of mine, Mike Harris, owns the place. I have a bit of pull there, and we have it good. We do about $75 million a month in volume. I'm happy doing my little, 1.5 to 3 million. Not that this means much, but this is the lenders we broker to, Bank of the Internet, CMG, so on and so forth. A lot of great lenders that do things that no banker can do, whether you're an in-house banker working for a bank or you're working for a big retail bank. If you don't have access to these lenders, you are not going to be as competitive as you can and should be as a loan officer. So that's enough about the system and websites. Everybody likes seeing that. So basically that system allows me to always take realtor calls, take client calls, structure deals, work with my staff, and pre-approve people. I'm a pre-approval machine. I send a lot of people out shopping for houses. When they come in, I close escrow and get paid, and they get their house, and everybody's happy. This is important. My goal here, obviously, I'm a loan officer. I'd like to have referrals to either realtors, real estate company owners, or any human that has an FHA, VA loan or a desire to purchase a home and has been having some difficulties with the bank or credit union that they went to. In return,